Hello. This is Dave Wood, of course, and I'm talking to you from my home office in Costa Rica, and I'm excited actually because the holidays are coming up. We've got Thanksgiving tomorrow, of course, in the States. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving anywhere else in the world. I don't think, anyways. Not in England either, right? Yeah, not in England. I lived in England for like 2 years, and they have different holidays. My favorite actually is Guy Fawkes Day. I don't know if you guys have seen V for Vendetta, like the best movie ever. Well, one of them, anyways. Where the guy with the mask, like we wore those masks on at our first Fight the Forces of Evil event. We had 3,000 people in a Guy Fawkes mask. Well, it's actually a really funny story because in England, now Jamie, you were telling me this. They don't even know what Guy Fawkes Day is. Like they just but like it's really eerie if you ever live there. What the holiday actually is there's bonfires everywhere one night, and there's these what do they call them, the burning bodies that they put in the bonfires, like it's like the now I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, you're walking around and there's these like freaking like bodies, these doll body things that are in fires everywhere, and like if you're not from England and you've never seen it, there's bugs flying everywhere like there is every night in Costa Rica. It's the creepiest thing like you've ever seen in your life, just walking around and there's these burning bodies and bonfires everywhere. I mean, they could really easily probably put a real body in one of those bonfires and people wouldn't even know the difference between that and like all the dolls that are around. Anyway, so this movie, they make V for Vendetta, and he's the superhero. But Guy Fawkes was actually a guy that tried to blow up Parliament, right? And he was sneaking through a tunnel underneath Parliament in England. He wanted to get rid of the royal families in England, and they caught him and they burned him in this like gigantic. They burned him in this like big bonfire or something like that. So then every year on the 5th of November, right, everyone in England, without knowing why, like burns these like gigantic burns these Guy Fawkes representations, these big dolls. And if you're not from there, you walk around and it's like the 5th of November in the nighttime, and you see all these burning bodies, and I actually was scared. Like, because I was a Mormon missionary walking around, you know what I mean? This is back before I drank coffee, and I'm like seeing all these like burning bodies in these huge like fires, and so people celebrate different weird holidays around the world. long rambly story to say Happy Thanksgiving. I'm actually going to go over to a place called Turtle Island this weekend, which is an island in Costa Rica. I'm trying to take a vacation every single week is my goal. Helps me detach from things, go out 3 days, 1 week to the beach. Last weekend we went out to a river. This weekend we're going out to Turtle Island. The next weekend, actually after this one, I don't think we could do anything. And then the weekend after that, I want to go out to the Caribbean side in Costa Rica because I've never been to the beaches there. So what is today's show about? Nothing. No, I'm kidding. It's about living the dream and doing what you want to do. You're laughing. Jamie was sitting here with me. We actually create these. If you wonder like how I plan everything, it's actually like my life is kind of like a South Park episode or something like that. We were talking just a little bit ago about the guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but South Park, it's been running for 20 years. We were just talking about. It's like one of the longest running shows on TV. And of course, they just make fun of everything. They don't pull punches. They just they'll make fun of Christians. They make fun of Jews. They make fun of black people. They make fun of white people. I mean, they just make fun of it. It's like an equal opportunity I'm going to rip into you fest. And the way they plan that show is actually really interesting. It's like where most of the ideas in my life come from. They sit in a really boring looking room. It's not interesting like this room is right here. It's got like white walls everywhere. It's tiny. It's stuffy. And the two founders of South Park, they sit in the room and they basically just start talking about nothing, right? They're just bullshitting. And they sit there and they bullshit, and they do that until they start talking about something and hysterically laughing, right? Probably there's weed involved with this. I'm not sure on that, but just, but the sounds of the video that I saw of them doing it, there had to have been something going on in there. But they sit around, they talk literally about nothing until they start laughing hysterically, and then they kind of like build a show around that once they just start randomly talking about something that they find hysterical, right? That's how they plan that show. And it's one of the most successful cartoons ever in the world, with those crappy little stick figures where they make fun of everyone. It's the crudest thing ever. And that show is watched by millions and millions and millions and millions of people around the world. See, most people, they never take the time to think. They never take the time to brainstorm ideas. They never took the time to do what the cavemen did, you know, where they stare into a fire at night and images of dragons and stories come forth, and they tell each other stories till late into the evening. Or like I learned in Amway, I stare into the whiteboard that's sitting on my wall, and ideas from the universe, they start to come forth from the back of my mind, right? Most people never take the time to think about anything, and so they kind of are led around by life, and they kind of like jump from one direction in another direction, and the tidal waves of life go this way and then they go that way, or, you know, running around with all the other sheep that are just getting swayed around by life, and then life kind of takes them that way, and then they start kind of like running down that way with life, and then their teacher tells them, you know, I want you to get a good education and get a good job, and they get in a good education and they get a job. And in case you're wondering, no, I don't smoke weed, actually, even with my rambly stories. I just kind of look like I do. You know, but, you know, they go around in life like that, never creating anything, never taking the time to think. You know, when I was a kid, I was one of these obnoxious kids, Jamie, where I was in class and like my teacher would say, today we're going to learn about, you know, and they'd list something off, and I'd be the idiot in the back of the room that raised my hand, and I'd say, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? You know, it's like I'm in algebra, right? And they're doing, you know, algebra. And I'm not saying algebra is useless, but, you know, by this time I'd already decided I wanted to be like a millionaire. I didn't want to, like, you know, go through school. You know, I actually wanted to do Amway when I was like 12 years old. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, raising my hand, and I'm like, you know, we got calculators for this, you know, and computers. Like, what are we sitting in this room for? We could be doing something interesting. I said, what's the point of this ever? You know? So I always questioned everything my entire life. You know, somebody told me a presupposition about the universe, and I'd ask a question about it, and I'd say, hey, I don't know about that. And so it is with life, because you can choose to live the way that other people live, or you could go create your own life. You could go create your own imagined existence. You can go out there into the world and you could create something unique with your life. You don't have to do it the way another person does it. You know, one of my friends is Eric Worre. He runs Network Marketing Pro, which is a site he kind of imagined up from his unconscious mind. And you know, I was talking with Eric, you know, and he said, you know, Dave, you are single-handedly challenging every major presupposition that has existed in the network marketing profession since it's existed. You are challenging old beliefs, old ideas, and you're proving wrong some things that people have held really close to their belief systems for a very long time. And he said, I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you, you know, for doing things in a new way. Right? So the message of today is this: as you're, you know, eating and getting filled with turkey and hopefully having a good time with your families. If you're in, you know, North America, and if you're, you know, you're off in England, you know, you could just burn a Guy Fawkes effigy just for me. I think that was the word I was looking for, but I'm not sure still. Effigy, is that what they call them? The burning bus, the creepiest thing ever. Yeah, we should do that in America, you know what I mean? Just like on a random day, we'll just take like body-looking things and burn them in huge bonfires, just so people who visit America are even more creeped out by us when they come to the country. That is creepy, though. You've never probably thought about how creepy that is, have you? Yeah, you've lived there your whole life, you know. I imagine if somebody had never seen Halloween and then one night they come out and everybody's dressed like witches and dragons, they'd think that was weird too. You know, but happy Thanksgiving. And I want to encourage you to do something this Thanksgiving, and that's to dream of a new future, to dream of a new life. You can take vacations every week, or you could take them once a year. You can learn to travel the world while you build a business, or you can, you know, just kind of like sit in your house and work a job and do the 9 to 5, you know. You can learn how to create an income quickly on the internet, or you can take a really long time to do it. There's a lot of ways to do things. There's a lot of ways to build a business. You can build a business with cold calling and phone calls. I just don't personally enjoy doing it. You can also build a business by making videos every day and putting them out online. You can learn to brainstorm and to be creative and to stare out into the universe like the physicist, and as they stare into the skies and in the heavens, they wonder, why is that that light just a little bit brighter than the one next to it? And what does that mean? You can learn to ask questions about things, and you could look at the news and you could say, I'm gonna choose to challenge this presupposition that things have to be this way because I choose to live in a different way. You can let the economy take you down as it rises and falls, and it can take you up when it's rising, and you can allow it to to bring you down as it's falling, or you can realize that it's the people that have vision that are ones that build the economy in the first place. It's the dreamers of the world. So what's your dream, and are you going to take charge? And there's a quote, I actually saw this on Facebook, I'd pull it up, but I got to put the password in my computer. It's a pain in the butt, so I'm going to butcher it. My brother put this up actually on his wall, and it was a challenge. And I just thought this was so brilliant, so I'm going to butcher it a little bit, but this was the message. It said, choose today for the next 24 hours to focus only on what's working in your life. To focus only on what's working in your life. What's working for you today? What are you good at today? What magic is happening in your life today? And then what are you going to create from that? Because you, my friend, can have anything. What did this show have to do with? Absolutely nothing and everything at the same time. And I just want to encourage you, if you haven't yet, of course, to join now. Why? Well, if nothing else, because I love you. That's good, isn't it? All right, I'll end it there. And then we're coming back tomorrow with, I'm going to be helping him construct a business, Jamie. Hey, wave to everybody real quick. Stick your head out, wave. That's Jamie. He'll be on the show tomorrow. He's my buddy. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow.